What's happening, everybody? My name is Bogz. Welcome back to Off the Wall. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like this video. And today we're going to be reviewing Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. So from next week onwards, that's episode 3, we're going to be doing a full episode breakdown because this has been recorded late in the day. I will not be doing a full episode breakdown, just going to give my overall thoughts and feelings from episode 1 and 2, maybe the good and the bad, and some questions and theories as well. Obviously, as I said, it won't be a spoiler review, but I will be talking spoilers. So a bit of background, of course. Big anticipation for this show. A lot of hype. Quick background, obviously, of the character. I absolutely love the character of Ahsoka. Going back from the Clone Wars, and particularly in Rebels. Rebels is my preferred animation Star Wars series. It's my favorite out of the two. Rosario Dawson just alludes that character. In the Mandalorian episodes, I thought she was absolutely fantastic. The action that she did, the delivery, the look, the whole vibe that she has is brilliant. That all just leads to a lot of excitement and anticipation going, coming off the back of, let's say, below par Star Wars Disney Plus shows. I was eagerly anticipating this one because Filoni has the full reign. But the question is it any good? Do I like this or not? Can I recommend it? I'm not sure is the answer. So definitely some things I do like, which of course I'm going to get into, but there are a lot of things I didn't like about this show. I did at first like the length, in terms of, I believe the first episode, including the credits, is about 54 minutes and the second episode is 43 minutes. So over an hour and a half. I was super excited, loads of catching up to do, obviously, with the Rebels cast. But as a consequence of watching it, yeah, I am underwhelmed, but optimistic, and I'm still hopeful overall. Definitely could go into some interesting directions, particularly with the world building and the lore that they've brought into it. But because the Disney Plus series have been poor overall, I'm talking Marvel and Star Wars, I have tampered my expectations, but overall, still optimistic. So first, I'll discuss the good things about the episodes. I do really like Balin and Shin, particularly Balin, that's played by the late Ray Stevenson. From the look, the delivery, the action that he does, he just seems like a tormented character, like he's dealing with a lot. Like, you believe that he is a Jedi. What is he now? Is he an assassin? Is he like a former Inquisitor? What's going on with him? I want to know. Like a Dooku feel about him. Very experienced. We know from the trailers he knows Anakin. He discusses with Ahsoka. So I can't wait to get into that. He just seems like there's a lot of history behind that character. I really like his look as well. Really mellow. It feels like he's burdened with history. Complex character, a calmness, even the way he delivers his lines, the conflict within him, and also the master and apprentice relationship he has with Shin. Shin kind of does whatever he says. Go and kill this character, go and obtain this, go get Morgan Elsbeth, etc. I do like that. And she was interesting as well. She was didn't have much dialogue, but I like the relationship that they have, like genuine master and apprentice. But she has a braid, like a Padawan braid. Obviously, as far as I know anyway, Sis do not have these, so they're not all the way there. They seem to be some kind of in-between Force users, so I can't wait for them to get into that a lot further. Being in the Rebels universe, seeing Lothal again, seeing the characters in live action, like I said, I did absolutely love Rebels, so I was smiling, reintroducing these characters and getting the Ghost and obviously the droids and Chopper, and seeing the Mayor and Lothal, seeing all these regular things that we've seen in animation for years, now getting the chance in live action. So like I said, a lot of that was more of a relief. The introductory scene, obviously, with the captain of the Republic ship that they board, that's Balin and Shin. Some silly things were going on there, but I do like the way that it started off as a Force-centric episode, meaning that we've got Force users, we've got lightsabers. We've seen how powerful Balin is in the Force as well. They didn't believe him at first and destroy all the Republic personnel. We see him unlock the door with the Force to remove her handcuffs using the Force as well. So it was like, finally, a Force-centric episode where we see kind of tough, gritty characters that we want to see more of. Some of the action was really good. The Ahsoka fight scenes, when she first discovers the orb, and it's a bit, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where again it's like it's mixed with good and bad. So I'm still on the good parts, but when she's walking around that kind of tomb and she's unlocking everything, and then when she jumps up and takes on them battle droids, Yeah, that was some cool action, and you see how proficient she is. She's in first gear taking on these droids, but later on in the episode, there is some action that looks a little slow. We expect Ahsoka, because this is what's been built up, that she's super athletic, super gifted. I just didn't like some of the action with the other Inquisitor that's, later on. It's a bit clunky, maybe because it's in the volume, I don't know. But some of the action was a little disappointing. And I say Hera grew on me as well. I don't really like her look, to be honest. Like, it's not that similar to the animation. Like, I'm talking like facially. I was easing into her the further the episode went on. Like I said in the intro, the world building and mythology was fantastic. Dave Filoni basically built other galaxies within these episodes, which was a complete surprise. And it was so easily done as well. Kind of been waiting for these other world, other galaxy stories to appear in the Star Wars universe. And Filoni didn't like that. The droids were okay as well. Hu Yang, obviously, I like that he used to train Jedi Padawans and he's knowledgeable about lightsabers. That obviously is a reflection to the past, to the prequels, and the original trilogy as well. But I like that he has history among the Jedi for, I believe, hundreds of years. And it was also cool to see Chopper as well doing his thing and adding the humor as he always does. I do like the way Ezra is a shadow, is a constant topic, especially for the kind of Rebels crew throughout the series so far. So they do reference that, we need to go look for him, and he's still alive. And obviously we see the recording of him. Although I didn't really like the look of the actor too much, portraying him. He's got his outfit and stuff, but I didn't really get that as Ezra. Completely different voice, completely different look. It's hard for me to make that jump so easily with these characters. Unlike I did with Ahsoka, seeing Rosario Dawson in The Mandalorian, I believe I've been eased into her. These guys have been pushed in front and center, so it's a little harder for me to accept. I find these guys as believable Rebels characters. Definitely nice to see a scroll with a lot of it. So, but the scroll seemed, I did, you can pick holes in it. Every project full stop should have a scroll in it. I genuinely believe that. I do like the callbacks and references and the Star Wars feel of some of the scenes. The massive Republic ship that was flying over, like in A New Hope, I do really like that. I really like Ahsoka's use of the Force, whether she goes to locations where a certain event happened and she wasn't there. She can feel through the tremors of the Force or the path that someone's been on. She can hear things, she can see things, foresee things through the echoes in the Force throughout the original trilogy and the prequels. So I do like that she has that ability. And I personally think we will see Luke Skywalker at some point. I believe that Dave Filoni has been wanting and hoping to add Ahsoka and Luke and go on an adventure together, on a mission together as active and probably the two most powerful Jedi in the universe, working together, scenes together at this point in time. And I want to see that as well. I want to see Ahsoka and Luke, because after Return of the Jedi, they should be together. Obviously, she's not mentioned in the original trilogy at all, and she was out there, and there's no explanation really of where she was at that time. So I would personally like Ahsoka and Luke's team up, the conversations that they're going to have, the point where they both speak and know about Grogu, and they go and help train Grogu as well. I want to know all that. I want to hear them have them conversations about Anakin. I want to see Anakin Force Ghost with Luke and Ahsoka as well, so they can really. That's why I'm optimistic. They can do some absolutely fantastic things in this episode. There was no reveal of Jason Sandula. Obviously, he is in the epilogue in Rebels, so that's Kanan Jarrus's and Hera's Sandula's son. So I definitely want to see that. Is he Force sensitive? Is he not? A flashback of Kanan as well, maybe a dream sequence from any one of the characters. Obviously, Zeb in this episode as well. Can't wait to see him back. Where's he at? Obviously, he's with the rebellion from what happened in the events of season 3 of The Mandalorian. I did like seeing Lothal as well, having the memorial put up in regards to Ezra's sacrifice. I do like they're commemorating that and having that memoriam of them. So I actually saw that as well. Apparently it's the same one anyway, at Star Wars Celebration. There's also a reveal that Morgan Elsbeth is a Night Sister. I do like that as well, because I am a fan of the Night Sisters. They are Force sensitive beings, really feared as well. Mother Talzin, is it, that she was prominent in obviously the Clone Wars. She took on Dooku, she took on Palpatine. Palpatine seems to have a real fear of these as well, so I believe he wiped them all out and left only a couple. There's obviously the girl in Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, and now Morgan Elsbeth. So they're really fascinating characters dealing with magic and the Force. The Jedi and the Sith are fearful of, and I quite like that introduction. But obviously, she didn't use her or say anything regarding this to Ahsoka in The Mandalorian season 2. when they fought. So that's a little baffling as well. She doesn't seem to have used the powers at any stage, even though she was, captured here as well. So that's a little baffling. I'm hoping that will get addressed. But yeah, I was a bit confused with that. Some of the cinematography is really nice as well. Some of the shots, particularly on Lothal and stuff. But there was a fantastic scene of a pro droid spotting Sabine. We see where it's going, and it goes to Shin, who is an absolutely gorgeous shot of her in a hoodie from behind, exactly out the Phantom Menace, like Darth Maul was chasing Anakin Skywalker and obviously Qui-Gon Jinn on Tatooine. The same shot. At the end, that shot ends with a wipe, as it does with the Phantom Menace. Brilliant. Shout out to the music as well. Kevin Kiner, the man is, he should score the music or oversee at least the music for every Star Wars project. I know people love Ludwig Göransson. I really like season 2, the scoring of The Mandalorian. Season 3 was okay, but he is the guy that should be scoring the music for Star Wars, particularly his blend of the original themes and the prequel themes into the current theme. It didn't do too much in this live action thing, but I'm sure we'll get it. Ahsoka and Hera's conversation about Anakin, about she didn't finish her training and stuff like that. So references to the Clone Wars, to the prequels, etc. So I do want to hear Ahsoka talk about Anakin more. Obviously, it has been revealed that Hayden Christensen is in the Ahsoka series. To what extent, though? Will it be a flashback with Obi-Wan and Anakin, which I would love in Ahsoka? I can't imagine it not. Dave Filoni, I'm sure he's been dreaming about that for years. And also, will it be a Force Ghost Anakin as well? He's in, obviously, Return of the Jedi at the end as a Force Ghost. Will he appear again as a Force Ghost? Who knows? I'm hoping both, actually. Yeah, and just to mention the world building as well, when Morgan Elsbeth unlocked the orb using her kind of magic, Night Sister magic, we see Balin and Shin at the site as well. And they discuss it's an ancient civilization where Thrawn is at. And it's a map, like obviously like the beam in Raiders of the Lost Ark as well, revealing the location of Grand Admiral Thrawn. It's built from beings from another galaxy, and I love that. It's another galaxy, other Force users, other beings dealing perhaps with magic. Why is Thrawn banned there? Is Ezra there as well? How do they get him out? What's in that other galaxy? It just built a whole different thing there, where we're going to go to new planets and see other beings and stuff. And obviously the whales still need to appear. We see a lot of the iconography and almost calligraphy and whales in the background on that temple site and stuff. So I want to know more. I want to know why they built that site there. So that world building stuff is really good, but they just scratched the surface of it. We've got so much more to uncover, and I can't wait. And of course, it does make you wonder about ancient beings, about other galaxies, and the potential is fantastic. The pathway to Peridia, which is an old Jedi myth, apparently. The Padawans used to talk about this place. And then Balin says a very Star Wars thing, that the path is clouded. Love that. Love that. That's the kind of dialogue that I've not had that is quintessential to Star Wars. That is the kind of dialogue, and the way he delivers it, eyes closed and just like reading the Force and reaching out, that kind of stuff. What Force users, Jedi, Sith, were in between should be saying, should be doing. Now, I'm going to go to some of the bad things, or some of the things that were disappointing or I didn't like about this episode. I think the obvious one is some of the dialogue is really bad, like shockingly, like almost laughable at times. I'm not sure if it's because they've made the transition from animation to live action, and maybe some of that dialogue will work in animation. I don't know. Some of it's really bad, and you can't get past that. Unfortunately, from these Disney Plus shows, I expect, unfortunately, the writing to be substandard. So I wasn't surprised at the poor writing. And unfortunately, Ahsoka and particularly Sabine come across as quite irritating and unlikable. Sabine, yeah, we know she's a rebellious character, but when we've left off from Rebels, we've established she's been through a lot. She's a Mandalorian, she's had the dark saber, she's been through all this stuff, and she's just like an annoying brat, basically, that runs off from Ahsoka, and she's not contributing, and she's hiding away in the tower, thinking about Ezra all the time. And if you're new to the show, why do you like that character? It's not a familiar character that we know and love. Hera, Ahsoka, Sabine are fantastic characters in Rebels, and you really root for them, and they have so many human qualities, and never at one stage did they ever come across unlikable. But the first episode in, I'm getting a bit of distance here, so and irritation from these characters. Hera didn't do too much wrong. It's just me not getting on board with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, although she is obviously a good actress, but I just didn't connect with that character. And Ahsoka, super moody, too cryptic, folding her arms all the time. It's not the kind of cute, optimistic, energetic, positive character that we've known for years. These are just not the same characters from what I remember from the animated versions, or even from The Mandalorian in Ahsoka's case. Particularly not seeing Sabine and Ahsoka's development or relationship appearing off screen, and now we're just picking up the kind of ramifications of it. It's really disappointing, but we'll see how it goes. She seems to be Sabine by the end of episode 2 back on board now, so don't really want Ahsoka chasing after Sabine and picking up the pieces here. I want to know Ahsoka's story. What is Ahsoka's story? And that goes on to my next point as well, that it was more of a Sabine centric episode. We're focused on her and where she is, even though we've had so much interesting things happen to Sabine. She's kind of becoming recluse. Like, we don't need that. Every show does this. We forget that. Get us up to gear. Catch us up with the characters. We didn't have to be, a hermit hiding in a tower. Okay, Sabine's caught up now. Hopefully, she's got a kind of bit more balance now, and we can focus on Ahsoka and her story moving forward. Coming out of the World Between Worlds, catching up with Ezra. Is she going to meet Luke? Is she going to meet Anakin? These are the things that I'm here for. I'm not here for Sabine, Hera, Morgan Elsbeth. Yeah, there's going to be villains in it as well. Obviously, we've got Thrawn there, but it's essentially Ahsoka. Don't screw it up. And we do see an Inquisitor. I believe his name is Merok. No backstory on him so far. Don't know how he still survived all this time. Kind of looks the part, but who is underneath the mask? A few questions there. And the action was a little clunky between Merok and Ahsoka. That's the one that I was referring to earlier, where it's a little slow at times. I don't need that. She is an athletic saber user, force user that can do all kinds of things. Look how she beat Maul in kind of was seeing him. I didn't actually like the way she beat Maul, but she can best him, etc. So I need to see that level, not this clunky slow motion stuff. Yeah, so that's my thoughts really overall. What is Balin and Shin's game? Are they working for Morgan Elsbeth? Obviously, they want to see and meet Thrawn. Apparently, there's a power beyond imaginable that they will gain. But where are they? What are they doing? They seem to be inherently good, because they did give the Republic guys a chance to surrender before taking out them to free Morgan Elsbeth, but at the same time they're killing a lot of people. But he did also say it's a shame to kill Ahsoka. He doesn't necessarily want to. There's some depth there that I want to get into. Definitely intriguing characters. So now basically we're caught ready to go. I don't need a eccentric Sabine episode, Hero Sabine episode. Let's get on with the story. As the things that I've mentioned, we've got too many exciting things to get into. Will we see a Ben Solo appear? Can Luke Leia? These kind of things. Filoni will go there if you can. Filoni always did shocking and surprising elements that contributed to the story and respected George Lucas's legacy via Clone Wars and obviously Rebels, and even his involvement in The Mandalorian. So I want to see that moving forward. Don't give me another slow episode like these. And I have to say, some of these episodes did drag as well. Some moments, a lot of characters walking around in silence, unlocking things, meditating. Ahsoka did it a few times. Sabine did it a few times. Seeing things in the room, uncovering things. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs there and stuff like that. But I don't care about that stuff. Give me Ahsoka's story. It's too much badass stuff to be left out on the table here. And we've been burdened too many times by these Star Wars shows and Disney Plus shows in general. I ain't got time for this stuff. I need this show to be fire. And I want to see more of Ahsoka's story, to be honest. But anyway, that has been my review. What do you guys think? Please let us know in the comments below. As I said earlier, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next time on the episode 2 breakdown review of the Ahsoka series on Disney Plus.